Baba, our loving cosmic Father, bless each one of us who have gathered here in this webinar to know about your creation. Empower us with wisdom and your knowledge and transform us to become great contributors to the society and build a harmonious society. I wish you all a great day today. On behalf of all the delegates of this webinar, I extend a warm welcome to Dr. Rajkumar. Dr. Rajkumar, your yesterday's talk was amazing and well received, also well appreciated. Many requested for the recording of your talk. Definitely, we will be sharing your both the sessions and the first session also recording with every one of them. I assure all the delegates also that today's session will be another great day and will bring you a lot of information regarding promising areas of biophysics for higher education and their potential job opportunities. So I request all the young faculty members, scholars and students to be more alert and know about the free fellowships and scholarships which enable you to get into leading higher educational institutions in Germany and pursue your goal. Hearty welcome. Over to Dr. Rajkumar.
Okay, thank you once again. So I will just start now. So, sorry. So are you able to see my presentation?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, certainly.
It's not maximizing. Yeah, okay. So once again, thanks a lot for the introduction, ma'am. And also, I think yesterday I was able to throw some knowledge to everybody who have joined. And I hope today also I would let you know something more about physics in biology. And also today I will give you more insights on German education especially. So as I already mentioned yesterday, please, for the new people, if there are somebody joining, please try to see that the devices and the instruments, what I'm telling over here, I'm just trying to share the knowledge about it, and any usage of it has to be properly taken care of. And today I will be talking about application of sound in medicine, and then biophysics and neuroscience, and also I'll be talking about optics, especially microscopy, and also today mostly I will be talking about different kinds of innovation during the COVID times and the importance of the socialpreneurs, which is really the need of the hour. And then I will be telling about higher education in Germany and few scholarships and fellowships, because I cannot give you so much of information, as you should be also responsible for check many of such things. And probably I also try to focus what is really important for your careers in order to get good opportunities either in research or in companies. And so with this, I would like to start. So yesterday, to everybody who have joined, I think we have built different principles of physics which are running the life and industry. And among them, we have checked astrophysics, magnetism, and electricity. And today, I will be talking about acoustics, optics. First, acoustics, sound and the medicine. So I think we may think that acoustics is in the modern medicine is very latest, but I think everybody of you know the application of sound in medicine. I think the simplest one being the stethoscope. Everybody knows the stethoscope. The doctors hear your rhythms and the murmurs of the heart and the body, because the sounds change in some disease condition compared to the other normal condition. This is the very basic what everybody knows. So just the sonorization and the use of sound in the current world, there is also a field of science called bioacoustics, where it is an interdisciplinary science that combines biology and acoustics to know more about these sounds which are being produced by the living organisms and how they can be applied for the usefulness of the mankind. So in the bioacoustics, these mainly investigate the production, how the sounds are produced, and how they are transmitted, and how their reception is carried out of the sounds by the animals. And especially, many animals communicate via the sound, especially, bats, which travel, also which communicate via the sound. And acoustics are also very regularly used in medicine. As I already mentioned, stethoscope. Other one, what many of you know is ultrasound. And what exactly happens is, like, of course, the ultrasound is a picture imaging of the baby inside the womb and also to different organs to see the pathology. But apart from that, ultrasound can also cause, depending upon the frequencies, temporary opening of the cells. And this particular phenomena is used in many of the applications, such as drug delivery and also antibodies, and also because of blood-brain barrier, which I already mentioned you yesterday, how difficult it is to transport drugs across the blood-brain barrier. And because of these properties, there is a lot of therapeutical potential of acoustics in the field of cancer biology, infectious diseases, and also several other common diseases such as rheumatoid arthritis, and also the precision medicine, which would be the future, definitely, and also in some of the emerging diseases such as Alzheimer's. And so, as I already mentioned, it's a temporary breakdown. You see, yesterday I also mentioned about the nanoparticles, that it is difficult to pack these nanoparticles in such a way that these are compatible and then reach the designated destination. And one of the solutions how they can be directed is using ultrasound. This is also the latest paper which has been published, I think, last year. In this paper, the scientists have produced the packaging of these nanoparticles and then targeted drug delivery using the ultrasound. So what they have done is they have packed the proteins of the interest which have to reach the destination in the body using the fluorescence nanoemulsions which are in the blue color over here. And these are assembled using the compatible substances which are not rejected, such as the PFCs, perfluorocarbons. And these nanocarriers are packed into nano droplets you see over here in the green color. And then these particles are now delivered, mediated by ultrasound. And once it reaches the particular destination, this perfluorocarbon is converted to the liquid gas transition phase, and then it responds to the ultrasound. And then this can be guided, activated, and it can be released exactly at the site of requirement. And the great advantage what the scientists have told about this method is that it preserves the native state and the bioactivity of the protein, which is very important. And then there is also another imaging kind of a technique and also treatment kind of a technique, which is MRI guided ultrasound. This is widely used in treating prostate cancer. This is like a novel MRI guided ultrasound treatment which destroys the prostate cancer. This was also published, I think, in 2017. Because prostate cancer is the second leading cause of death in men, and it is very difficult to treat and challenging. Of course, everybody knows that many of the cancers are treated with radiation or the surgery. But it's also known that they commonly revert back after a few years or after a few months. In the case of the prostate cancer, it is challenging because of the size, and sometimes because of the surgeries that may also lead to impotency and also bowel dysfunction and other complications such as incontinence. And in order to overcome these, ultrasound has been used, and the technique what the scientists have developed is called TUSLA, which is translithurial ultrasound ablation. This is considered to be the promising technology to treat the prostate cancer, and the principle what the scientists have used is ultrasound. This ultrasound is generated using the transducers, and these transducers produce something which destroys the prostate tumor tissue. And this method was found to cause really minimal damage, and very specifically it can destroy the cancer tissue. And then the recovery time is minimal and it's also less invasive, and the amount of the side effects observed using these techniques has been really less. This technique has been tested in more than 100 humans, and very good results have been observed with this technique. So what exactly is this technique? As I already told, this is an MRI guided ultrasound technique. And what you see, these are the white color structures over here are the transducers, and which produce the ultrasound. And depending upon the area of the tissue, depending upon the amount of the tissue which has to be destroyed, you can use the number of transducers, either 1, 2, or 3. And these transducers can go exactly reach to the position where the tumors are present, and they can be activated to produce the ultrasound. This ultrasound can produce a heat, and this destroys the prostate tissue. And this entire procedure, of course, is performed under the supervision of a doctor, and is performed in an MRI machine. As you see here, this could be the setup how it works. The rod-shaped device. The rod-shaped device, which is introduced with the urethra, and also, it can be AI controlled or technologically controlled with the algorithm, so that this rod can adjust its shape, direction, and also the strength of the ultrasound beam can be adjusted. Yes. And these are the two things with regarding to the sound. There are many other things, but today, as I wanted to focus more about your career options, I have just chosen only two. And now coming to the neuroscience, I told, so first thing, there is recently, last year, 2 years before, in 2018, there is a paper which they have developed a brain on a chip. Because I think recently the brain is complicated, and that is the reason scientists want to develop something where it is easy and also it can avoid killing of lot of humans. So that is the reason many of the ideas in the current days, such as brain on a chip or even organoids, are being demanded in the research where people can study them on a plate without using a lot of animals. And one of the topics of this paper are how are these wrinkles formed in the brain? Can you imagine how are the wrinkles formed? Because brain is so wrinkled, and then the wrinkles start from the time when you are born. And if there are no wrinkles, it is called a smooth brain syndrome, and it occurs in 1 to 30,000 patients. And the child suffers from the serious developmental deficiencies and highly reduced expectancy. I think you also would have heard that depending upon the number of wrinkles, the intelligence capacity is also measured sometimes. And what is responsible for these wrinkles? Can these be identified, and then can there be some medical options for solving these problems? Is what the scientists thought about. And what they have studied in these are, like, if you see over here, you see these are all the kind of the nuclei, and these are how they are distributed in this chip. These are the small brain cells, how they are distributed in the chips. Depending upon that, they analyze the code and tell exactly at what time the wrinkles are formed. What they have found is that the physical forces are, this is also a completely physics paper, what they have done. What they have observed is that there are a lot of physical forces implicated in these wrinkles to form. And also, what are the different mechanisms and what are the proteins involved in the formation of wrinkles have been the target of the group, and successfully they have at least grown, and they have found that wrinkles can be formed and studied using these brain on the chips. So these models can be used by many other groups to work on different diseases. And then what they have shown in the paper is that there are two opposite forces during the growth of the brain cells. One is the cytoskeleton, which forms the basis of all the cells to attach. And then here if you see, these are at different points after getting the cells in this brain chip to analyze the food. Here you can see how the nuclei are growing. You may see that there is no difference, but here you see the difference in the shape, difference in the density of the nuclei, and then how they are dividing or how they are moving. So all these were analyzed, and for example, they analyzed the nuclear motion in these swelling kind of areas, and what is the density. And then they said that the two main factors, such as the nuclear positioning and also the nuclear movement, all these these are responsible for the formation of these regions. And this is involving, of course, there is a lot of things which have to be still studied and understood, but this is the beginning where on a chip you can study how the brain formation can take place. And the second one, like yesterday, I think you all remember that I have mentioned about squid with regarding to the magnetic devices, how highly it is used. And I saw that with regarding to neural recordings, um, another device called CMOS is used. And what is CMOS? CMOS is a complementary metal oxide semiconductor-based electronics. And this combines the silicon chip technology with a supersonic microwires, and these microwires are up to 15 times thinner than the human hair. As I already mentioned yesterday, right now the technology is nano and even sub-nanoparticle kind of a technology, which has high precision and also low invasiveness. And so these wires are so thin, that they can be directly placed into the brain without causing significant damage to the brain, because brain is really, really sensitive, and even if there is small damage, there could be some impairment in your locomotion or hearing or some kind of your regular actions. And these wires can be used to accurately monitor the brain activity and then inject the electrical signals into the precise areas of the brain so that they can be made active. And this principle is currently will be used in new medical devices which can help amputees and people with paralysis or many other motor neuron diseases. So this is how this CMOS electronic chip locates. CMOS chip integrated with the bundle, and this is for the mouse. In case of mouse, these all are these small hair-like wires, and this is a device for the mouse. Of course, this is not for the human. This is for the mouse. And in this mouse, you see there are around 800 microwires that were spaced at 100 micrometer apart. This is how the animal experiment looked like. So the animals are placed over here, and then this is a chip which has been inserted onto the brain, and you can see how the different kinds of the waves of the brain can be recorded, and then depending upon this, I think they also activated certain areas for the mice of the paralysis model. And then with regarding the human brain, this is the advancement what we wanted to try. Like as I showed you before the CMOS recording, so this is the supersonic microwires, which are up to 15 times thinner than the microhead. And the idea is to implant something like this onto the brain so that depending upon the region which has been disturbed, they can be stimulated, and they can be used in case of several paralysis and other kind of patients. And then I wanted to bring about the very advanced technology. I don't know how many of you know about this Neuralink, and this is expected to be a breakthrough in the future for sure. Especially the reason for this one is the Neuralink is nothing but a company founded by Elon Musk. I think everybody heard of Elon Musk regarding the SpaceX and Tesla technologies. So they are also aiming to develop these implantable brain interface devices. So they have also developed certain brain devices which can be used in humans. And this project has been initiated in 2017. And these are the very, very small electrodes. I think they use, here you see they use around 3072 electrodes per array, and these are distributed across 96 flexible threads, which are around the size of 4 to 6 micrometers. And these are expected to read, clean up, and amplify the signals from the brain, which I said, there have to be a lot of ethics approvals for these. Because they can be really misused sometimes. And they use a laser beam, a robot to implant, and also the transfer these data wireless, how the recordings are, and then how they can be later altered. And there is a huge funding for this project because Elon Musk is now very much popular, and also his all experiments are mixed level than many other people. And the funding he received for this particular device is over $160 million, and the company already has some FDA approved approval for testing these on humans, but these are under certain guidelines, which is very important as well. And then, there are other devices such as the brain device. This I saw that this is used to reduce the depression, and these are also available online. So these are certain devices which I'm mentioning about. Please don't try to use it. There are many other ways for depression, but I just wanted to mention how the technology is being developed. So there is like how they reduce depression is like transcranial direct current stimulation. This uses a constant and very low direct electric current delivered via the electrodes on the head. And this is very low current, as you see, it's just 2 milliampere. And then what the doctors also sometimes prescribe, I think, in the Western countries, is for the treating of the depression. And this can be, I think, this is prescribed to use this device for 30 minutes and 18 times over 6 weeks. And the cost around is $500 every 6 weeks. So these are certain devices which are coming into the market for many of such small businesses, in my view. And then let us move to topics, which is microscopy. Microscopy is really, it is a gift to the biology. I think you also generally would have seen sometimes in food or anywhere that you see amazing pictures of different types of the cells or of organs or anything. And also many of the pictures that I have shown yesterday are taken by different kinds of the microscope. So microscope has really revolutionized the field of biology along with many other techniques. And there are really constant developments in the microscopic techniques which unravel many biological questions in an amazing way to see the structures and a high magnification. And what microscope uses is, of course, optics technology and nowadays computer science in order to capture a lot of images and then combine them and create and bring about some amazing pictures. And also, microscope needs several other areas also to make a great microscope, which is having a really lot of applications. And you all know different kinds of microscopes like light microscope, fluorescent microscope, phase contrast microscope, confocal, transmission electron, scanning electron, and the latest one is a super resolution microscopy. And microscopy field is also a great field because I think many of these microscopes have won the Nobel Prize. For example, in 1986, the electron microscope was awarded developed by Ruska and now was awarded the Nobel Prize. And in 2014, for the discovery of the super resolution microscopy, the group of 3 scientists were awarded the Nobel Prize. So what I would like to discuss is even the advanced microscope and the high resolution microscopy. It is called the cryo-electron microscopy, and this was also awarded Nobel Prize in the year 2017 for chemistry. And this is like electron microscope. The range of the electron microscope, how much of minute details it can clearly capture. And they have added cryo to it. Cryo is nothing but cooling. The tissue are cooled to the level of minus 273 degrees centigrade. Centigrade, and then this preserves the structure of the protein. So this is a transmission electron microscope, and here the slides are normally placed. There is a lot of preparation of the sample, which is not simple at all. And the developments, they also are simplified, but still it is really complicated in order to take one electron microscopy image. It's really not very simple. So what we do is the tissue samples are placed on the grid, and this grid that is made up of also the different metals and then on the carbon film, and the protein is vitrified, and then they are transported for the measurement as well. There are a lot of other steps as well. And then what happens is that all these in the cryo-electron microscope, this electron beam is just made to fall onto this substance, and then you get a lot of images. All these lot of images have to be aligned in a proper manner, and then they have to be again designed in the 3D structure, and this has to be further refined so that you get finally a high resolution structure. And this takes a lot of time, a lot of effort as well, and the processing one sample with all these steps is also really expensive. And then, as I told, what are the advantages of the cryo-electron microscope is that when compared previously, people used to use for studying the structure of the protein, they used to use other techniques such as X-ray crystallography. But in the X-ray crystallography, compared to the X-ray crystallography, the cryo-electron microscope is surface structure, this is one. And other thing is the X-ray test program. Because we have to put the surface structure. And then these are subjected to scattering electrons into the structure. But many people who want to study this structure, they do have this treatment or proper so and which is why you don't see it so often. And then the other one is the cryogenic far field microscopy. This was created by the Japanese group, and this is mainly used for pinpointing the biomolecules with nanometer accuracy. And this microscopy has been developed, and they claim that it can be used for locating individual biomolecules in 3D space with a nanometer scale precision. And this is a kind of a cryofluorescent microscopy. So for the cryomicroscopy, hello.
Dr. Rajkumar, sir.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Just wait for one. Yeah. Some problem. Voice was not heard. Okay, now it is rectified. You can go ahead. Sorry for the disturbance.
Okay. Now you can
go ahead. A little noise is there in your side. Any mic or anything? Or
no, I already closed all the doors as well. And see the voice. Yeah. Please let me know in case the problem is persistent.
Yeah. Please proceed. Sorry, I disturbed.
Yeah. And this is like a new development, new advance for the cryo microscope, because they also add fluorescence into these so that you can also get some colored images. And but the problem is that for all these purposes, all the samples have to be maintained in the cryogenic condition. But this is also an advantage because the cryogenic conditions preserve the protein structure, as I told you. And as I already mentioned that it is used to measure the samples are measured at 1.8 Kelvin or minus 275 degrees Celsius, and this can be used even to measure 10 nanometer of DNA as well. And other one is X-ray microscopy, and similar to that of the other microscopes, it also provides a better resolution than the light microscopy, and it also provides a better view than the electron microscope is what the Hoops. This is also new one, the Hoops claim. And this can be also used to produce a 3D high resolution images of nanoparticles, treated cells, and orbitals containing. So it could be for the next generation where you are using nanoparticles for several of the experiments. And these includes like lipid droplets, even mitochondrial structures, and the small vesicular bodies can also be identified with X-ray microscopy. And they have already used for certain experiments, and what they have found was that nanoparticles are accumulate preferentially in some organs. For example, if you are doing any drug delivery experiments, all this, they accumulate preferentially in some organs. And the scientists want to analyze the accumulation of these nanoparticles and what are the changes that might occur with certain organelles when the nanoparticles are accumulating. And this microscopy allows us to see the cell as a whole as well. So it is also similar, like the X-rays are targeted onto the sample, and then depending upon the reflection of the electrons by the sample or passing of the electrons to the sample, it creates an image on the detector. And these images can be detected following the technology, many other softwares. You see, here they have presented that the presence of accumulation of different nanoparticles in specific cell types. And then another advancement of microscopy, what I have seen is DNA microscope. So here, the scientists have used chemical reactions instead of light to obtain the images. And all these are chemically encoded. This is a chemically encoded microscopic method because the small DNA tags, such as over here you can see, these are the different kinds of the DNA tags which are called the unique molecular identifiers, which are inserted into cells. These are amplified and then are combined together using an algorithm. And this algorithm reconstructs the image from the DNA recording. Because the importance of this microscope is the level of expression of different proteins can be different in the different cell types. So this microscope, they believe, can be used in order to recognize the sequences of the DNA molecules so that these specific cell types can be identified and how they are interacting. For example, this is one kind of cell type and how different tags are performed. But if you see other cell type, it could be totally different. So we wanted to really identify using these unique molecular identifiers how the expression is different in different cells. And then if you imagine these microscopic techniques, they are not cheaper. You see the beautiful images, but they are really not cheaper because you see the best cryo-electron microscope costs around 7 million euros in dollars, which is nearly 50 crores. And also other electron microscope itself costs hundreds of thousands. And even as I mentioned earlier, the sample preparation to produce one good image itself is very, very expensive. So that is the reason these are not usually present everywhere. I think in our university you have one microscope and it is a lot of cooking which has to be done and the experiments have to be really planned and also they really ask you if it is really important only then they perform, not for all small experiments. And then I also would like to present another interesting technique what we are using in our labs, such as the magnetism currently, as I already mentioned yesterday, magnetism currently is in great demand. And the way how we separate cells, for example, this is a technology which is really very simple but fascinating. Like what you do is we have different cell types. For example, in the brain you have a lot of cell types. So to these cell types, we wanted to study what is the effect of one cell type in a particular disease. For this, what we actually do is we have to get these cells very specific. Only these cells have to be separated. And for this, these steps used to be complicated. But now with this technology of magnetic beads, there is a company called Vutukuri, and they have developed this magnetic technology. What happens is they have this small, you see these small bubbles. Inside these, there are certain protein markers coupled to the small magnets. For example, you think like this. This is a protein, and then this is coupled to a magnetic nano beads of magnets. And then what happens is in the cell type, you have so many different types of the cells. And once you add this protein to this cell sample, what happens is all these magnetic markers for the particular cell type, they are unique for different cell types. So these unique markers go and bind to only that particular cell type. And then what happens is, this is a magnet. So you place the samples over here. This is a magnetic column. You add the complete sample with the magnetic beads into this one. So that now what happens, all the magnets is get attached to this magnet. This is a magnet, this is a column. So you add the complete sample into the column and this is attached to the magnet. So everything is into this one. Of course, there is an illusion of the liquid except the specific marker which has a magnetic in it. It is stuck to this magnet because the magnetic field strength is very strong. So it is stuck. All the remaining except the specific protein just goes out as a form of an loop. So we add some kind of the buffers into this one so that the buffer is eluted out. And now what happens is once you want a specific kind of a protein, you just remove this magnet and collect your sample into the other tube so that your specific protein of interest is collected separately. Of course, it is sometimes impossible to get 100%, but in my experiments also what we use, you at least get 85% to 95% of pure population of the cells of your desire. Hello?
So let's go ahead, sir.
Okay, I got some kind of click. Okay, okay. So these are the different kinds of the column depending upon the volume you want to use. And they are really, as I told you, it's a creative idea. These are the nano magnets, and all these columns, for example, they are 25 column package, and the cost of it is 250 euros. And just believe me or not, there is this magnet which is just used to keep the sample in it, and this costs nearly 800 euros one magnet. You can see this company, Stem Technology, or there is other company, as I mentioned, the Vutukuri, they all sell these magnets for such a high cost. This is all your creative products, so that's the reason I think for the patent of the technology, these are very expensive. And then other interesting areas, what I wanted to bring to you is that space engineering is about fungus in space history. Don't think that I'm so passionate about space physics, yes, of course, but these are like for me linking into different fields. For example, mycelium is completed mycology, and other fields should also benefit. So that is the reason I'm taking examples of different fields. And here you see this is also from NASA. NASA has a separate branch which is dealing with architecture kind of projects, and the architecture of this one is called the micro architecture project. So what happened? What is the specialty of this one? Because there are several adverse conditions in the space, and especially in the other planets like Earth. So the technologies, what they think are that they put the habitats of the world, and they have to for the survival there, they have to create some kind of materials, and it is not possible to take everything from here. The reason is each and every what you take is very, very expensive to carry the payloads into the space stations. So that is the reason the materials what are there should be very light, and then they should also have a lot of implications. So this is a stool, a chair, simple chair which has been constructed out of mycelia. If you want to, I think everybody know mycelia. These are nothing but some basic and fundamental structures of the fungus. And these mycelia, after 2 days, they overgrow so much like this, and using certain process, they bake it, and that led to a production of a clean and a functional piece of furniture. Similarly, using the same mycelia, they also produce the bricks. And what they hypothesize is that these bricks from the mycelium could be used for the construction purpose in the climatic conditions of Moon and the Mars. Because they are very cheap, because you can just carry some kind of the spores in the space station, and then they can be created from certain conditions which can be used, which they can grow, and then they can grow uncontrollably also. And this is other thing for the astronauts. The food for the astronauts using the sweat and the fungi has been developed by some of the collaborators of NASA's project. Then why this fungi? As I already mentioned, mycelia are the tiny structures of fungi, and they build complex structures with extreme precision, networking out in large structures like mushrooms, as you know them. And with the right conditions, they can be literally grown uncontrollably forever. And they can also be used for building several different types of the structures, as already shown before. And in the harsh conditions of these Moon and the Mars, the scientists think growing is better than building. So that is the motor which made them to use these innovative materials. And also, the fungi are great recyclers, and it feeds on the normal materials, so it should not be a very big problem for them to grow these ones. And it has a great potential because it can be grown to a limitless in right conditions. And also other characteristics of using fungi are that mycelium are that it can endure more pressure than the conventional concrete without breaking, and it is also known to be act as insulator and also a fire retardant. And also, the scientists want to develop in such a way these materials could also be radiation protection on the space missions. As I already mentioned, it costs nearly $10,000 per pound to carry into the space. So if you think you want to carry the furniture, it is highly impossible. And then you can just carry these in the spores, in the form of the spores, and create the conditions over there. And then now coming to the very generalized structures, some generalized innovations, and especially in the COVID time, which I want to bring to your notice. Although please try to hear. Again, the reason is all these are based on the physics and biology combinations. So you see, this is a UV disinfectant which has been developed at MIT, and this is called the UV robot. And this is especially used to sanitize very big areas. They have done it in such a way, this is very fast, that it covers around 4,000 square feet in 30 minutes. And of course, UV light causes lethality to the virus and also many bacterial particles. So 90% of the COVID particles can be over utilized usage, especially when we observe. And there are many these products that have been developed during this pandemic time, but remember, direct exposure is dangerous. So that is the reason you must take care that you will be careful. And there is also other one, the robotic swab collector. So you know how our frontline workers have been really struggling, and it's a great time for them to collect the samples, and they have been affected during the corona time. And in the Denmark, one company called the Lifeline Robotics have developed this automatic robotic swab collector, which uses a 3D vision system to collect the swab from the right place. It collects the swabs, puts in the box, and then closes the lid for the analysis. Everything is a kind of automatic there, and it is a very less work for the human to collect these swabs and probably expose to the virus. Another thing is like this is from the Indian company Borosil. This is also called the Borosil structure box. This is also based on the UV light, a small box which has a UV light inside, and you can store whatever the common material which you are using outside or even food. All these can be disinfected, and this box was seen to kill 99% of the 99% of the germs. These can be used at home or even at different places of work. There are other technology which was really money making. I'm not just doing for you people to do for the social service or something, for you people to be entrepreneurs kind of. So other thing is like a water bottle. Just imagine a self cleaning water bottle which is safe for drinking, which is also based on the principle of the UV light. For example, you see the struggles of the ordinary bottle where there can be accumulation of the material, accumulation of formation of slime or everything in these, and it is difficult to clean them. So what the innovators have developed is a bottle which can clean itself. So it has a lid, and it has a touch screen, and then it is based upon the UV principle, and it is having the battery for the charging. And what happens is the UV sterilizes the water and also the bottle. And it has been developed to both suffice the needs of either cold water or the hot water, and it stays for this particular time, whether it is hot or cold. And here you see they have also collected C half the density of the microbes or any other material in these small space. And has been bottle where you see about the microorganism, and you see the ordinary bottles where you just collect the swab and put it along with a lot of colors. So this is what they developed. And similarly also the other advantages of such materials are the plastic pollution which is bothering the world at this point of time, and especially in the US or in the modern world, it is known that average person uses around 3 single-use bottles per week, and only 12% of the total plastic bottles get recycled, and 80% of them are still polluting many water sources, human sources, and believe me or not, even plastic in the form of the nanoplastics which are consumed by the aquatic life have entered into the human life. A lot of work is going on. How much of nanoplastic has entered into the humans? I think this is still a small amount, but especially for those who are consuming fish in the developing countries or in the areas of high pollution, people have to be careful that they are not consuming the plastic related. So that is the reason the scientists are focusing on how much of plastic is entering into the mankind. And all these innovations can reduce the contamination of the land, and then also they are reusable, so which can be it can also sustain a long time. And if you see the products, this NHUD bottle, what I have measured, these are really, the cost is really expensive. Like one bottle costs around $70, which is equal to 5,000 rupees. So imagine it is just the UV is a principle and how much of money you can make. And these are technologies which are not for one day, but I think such technologies will stay for a longer time as well. And then there is another such kind of a water bottle, which they have added furthermore, and I think this is more beginning than that of the NHEalth, I think because they patented it first. And what this does is maybe it is manual, the previous NHEalth water bottle that I have shown you, but this water bottle automatically for every 2 to 3 hours, it ons the UV light and it sanitizes the complete water so that you can drink the safe water all the time. And the cost is very high. You see over here, it's nearly 10,000 rupees. And then, because of this corona time, the other one is in South Korea, which is technologically also highly developed regions. Even in the restaurants, there are robots which are serving the food to the people so that you can avoid the contact and then reduce the incidences of corona. And then next, as I told you, entrepreneurs. So these are all also the innovations of the COVID times, and these are, all these companies are also good innovative companies. But now I would like to even mention you about many interesting good socialpreneur ideas which have been implemented already, and I wish these will inspire you more to think towards the direction of innovation. And the first one is, how much of the crop wastage has been happening every day in the newspaper, how much you are seeing it about it. And there is a person called Kalyani Shinde, which she is from the agricultural family. And I don't know if you have read the story of her or not. Her father is an onion crop farmer, and I think she has seen how much of the crop wastage has been happening. And since a younger age, she has been thinking about how to solve this one. And now she has created a solution for this by developing the innovation of detecting of rotten onions, and then in order to identify them, remove them, or sell the crop. So how it works? It is called the Godan innovation, and it's working with the farmers so much. And what they do is they have produced a warehouse, and then in this warehouse they have created a kind of small trays or devices where you can put all the kind of onion crops in the particular onion. And sensors have been fixed in these chambers. These are the small sensors I think they have fixed. So the principle is onions, when they are spoiled, they release certain kind of gases, and these gases are analyzed, and you get a kind of alarm or a message about which container, which chamber, how much of such a signal has been generated. And that signal, it has been taken, and then the farmer or the persons in charge can go and then remove these spoiled onions, or else you can sell this crop at that point of time. So you can just, the rotting is identified as early as 4%, even before 4% is spoiled, it can be identified. And all this data is collected, like how many days it takes for the onions to spoil if you're storing very fresh, all such data, which can be used to further monitor very easily. So the person can expand within 5 days or 6 days, depending upon the quality of onions. And then these timely alerts can help the farmers to go there and then separate the onions so that he can further store the onions for the longer time, because there is no spoiled onions, the healthy onions can still stay. And by this way, I think we were able to reduce the wastage of the crop from 20 to 25%, and also the shelf life can be improved with these methods. Another innovation that I saw interesting was the atmospheric water solutions. I think even now in many places of the state there is a lack of drinking water across the country, and the company has come up with this idea that there is so much of humidity in the atmosphere, and to be frank, in terms of values, they say that there is 37,500 billion gallons of fresh water in the air at any given point of time. So these innovative groups have tried to capture all this humidity and then filter this and then produce and also disinfect this and then those nuclear weapon weapons. And the cost that the company claims is around, for the electricity, all this is 2 rupees per liter to be the charge what is for the water you produce one time. This is also a company which is based in Hyderabad, and I think this was recently also launched. So this can generate up to 50 liters of water per day, depends upon the condition. Of 30 degrees and 80% relative humidity is the best for producing. And then it can be used in the temperatures ranging from 50 degrees to 55 degrees as well. And at least if you have the humidity of 30%, it can really work. And even if you get it, the power rating also, it has a good power rating, which means it consumes not so much of energy. But please, as I already told you, I'm not advertising any product, but these are the interesting innovations which you have to think in these directions for many such innovations. And then another great innovation what I found is a Foldscope, which is a paper microscope. I think previous I have already told you how expensive all these microscopes are, right? But here you see an innovation which has been by one of the Indian like Manu Prakash and Jim Sabuski from Stanford University. They were able to produce a microscope, and they sell this microscope for $1, and this is called this Foldscope. This is good enough for creating beautiful images even from the school students. And there is complete guidance in the website of this company, like what kind of images can be taken, how the images can be taken, and what kind of images can be taken. And the magnification is 140x and 2 micron resolution, which is more than good for you to see the initial great images of life or anything. And they have distributed 1 million Foldscopes as of 2019, and this company is now greater than $6 million company. You can just see there is an official website where you can find the information of this, and they are also reaching several villages across the world to distribute this under USF or other agencies like that, so that school students are a lot benefited. I think these are also available in Amazon, if I'm not wrong. Okay, so this is about my all the stuff that I wanted to tell with regarding to technicalities, and now I would like to focus on German higher education. And I think this is mainly for the students, but anybody interested can also stay and listen to this one. So first one, I'm not telling about many countries. The reason is I'm here in Germany since 10 years, and I know the pros and cons of Germany and how the complete system works over here. And the second thing is I don't want to compare any countries and create any kind of a controversies from my side. So what are the advantages of Germany? In Germany, there are more than 200 recognized universities, and it's really one of the top 5 countries for research and also for innovations as well. And there are so many courses, and education is generally free, but since last 2 years, they are charging the fees, which is really not high compared to many countries. And this is a really safe country, trust me, even if you go out at 2 o'clock, there is nothing going to happen. And instances are really less. And especially in case of the science, biological sciences or other sciences, for the innovation and the funding, it is one of the top in the world. And you don't require very high IELTS or the TOEFL score. And even if you have a basic 70%, you can get into very good universities, bachelor's or master's as well. And the opportunities for the employment is high, but please be informed that you need to have language skills in order to get into companies. But in case of the PhDs, you don't need this one. And I will come back about why Germany is not in the top. The German language is not mandatory, but knowing the language is really advantage over here. Because there is this lot of idea from many students what I'm hearing in different colleges that they think that German language is mandatory to come here, but it is utterly wrong. Now there are so many courses completely in English, not even a single lecture in German. And in Germany you need a lot of paperwork. But other thing you have to remember if you want to apply for Germany is like the earlier you apply, the sooner you get the admission. This is one basic thing. Early you apply, early you get the admission. And many people also ask me why there are not a lot of German universities in the top 5 or top 10 if the funding is so high and if the country is so good. The reason is even at the time when I came, there are not a lot of universities which offer their courses in English. This is 10 years before. And then what happened is, if you have to be top in the international rankings of the universities, there has to be many criteria, such as how many international students are coming, how many papers were published in English, and how many English language courses are there in the university. As I mentioned, at that point of time, I think hardly 50% of universities among these 200 even did not have the English language courses. But at the same, after a decade, I think they have really realized about this one. And at this point of time, I can tell you over 80 to 85% of the German universities do offer courses completely in English. So which is very advantage for many people. And also previously it used to be a completely free course, and they have now also realized that there could be a chance of the flow even if they introduce a basic fee. So that's the reason they have introduced a basic fee, which I will also tell you what is the amount in the next slides. And then, about applications, I also see that a lot of students are going to the consultant's office. It's up to you if you want to go, but the application procedure, at least now, I have just gone through it 2 days before, and the application procedure is so simple because everything is there in English. The complete information, if somebody wants to study in Germany, can be found in this website called tag.de, and the application procedure can be done using the website called Uni Assistant. This UD assist is something like a common portal where they initially scrutinize the applications and send it to the universities, so that the universities will finally select the applications. These people check the authenticity of the documents available, and 80% of the university applications are processed through the UD assist. There are still 20% where you can directly apply online. And as I told you, now most of the universities are now charging semester fees of 1,500 euros, which means nearly 3,000 euros, which comes down at the rate of 80, around 2.4 lakh per year. So the semester fees includes the charge for transportation, for the library usage, and many other services. So it's really not so high. Even I think in India the fees are so high. And for the purpose of the visa, you need to have the living expense at around 853 euros per month, which comes down to 10,000 euros per year. So that for the visa purpose, you have to block this much of amount, which is 10,000 euros, which comes down to 80 lakhs per year. And just trust me, if you are having a basic lifestyle, this expense could come down to 600 euros, which is more than enough for a basic lifestyle of living. So, I would tell, even if I'm doing a part-time for 2 years, it could be 10 to 11 lakhs. And I know so many students, I think even if you are a software person, even if you are anybody from any course, if you are studying here, you can get some opportunities getting to something. Maybe you might struggle a little bit, but it depends upon your performance, it depends upon your project works, everything. And most of the people have been settled over here because the employment is good. Also, because the reason is, if you know about, Germany is one of the richest countries in the world with high amount of the millionaires, and in Europe, Germany is considered to have the most stable kind of economy compared to any other European country. And of course, Switzerland and France are also there, but Germany is equally big. And if you see about the admissions, there are two admissions for Germany as well. One is the summer intake and one is a regular intake. So normally the classes of the admissions end in April and the classes begin in April over here. And the application deadline is January 15th. And for the best universities, which are the top universities where you don't need to apply through the UniSS or probably some UniSS through UniSS, the application deadline is November 15th. And then for the winter semester, the classes begin normally in September or October, and the classes start in July. And for the best universities, it is even more before, which the admission closes by March 15th. So the early you are sending the application, the best chances you get the admission. Even if you are 90%, and if you send late, I think the chances will be less compared to the person who is having 75% and who has sent the application very early. And then, as I told you, suggest you have to visit this website. And in one application, you can select as many universities as possible. So, but it is that they charge 75 euros for the first application, and for every next application, they charge you 30 euros extra. So which means if you want to apply for one course, one particular two courses in one particular university, you will be charged at around 100 euros. And if you want to select another university, you charge 125. But the best thing is that my suggestion is first try to check all the universities which are offering free applications and offering applications online from their university portal. So that you can go first try to fill all these applications and check whether you are getting any admission into them or not. And if you are not getting, then try to carefully select which course you want to do and which university, and then try to pay the fees so that you are not applying to so many universities and paying so much of money. And then I also want to mention about research as a career because if people are interested in research as a career either in Germany or in other abroad, so the normal procedure is of course you are doing your BTECs or BScs, and then you have to do your masters or your MTechs and then go to the PhDs. This is a general procedure. But there are many entrance examinations across India and also over here, where after your BTech or the BSc, you can write examination for these integrated PhDs, so that after the BTech, you directly go to the integrated PhD. And of course, PhD takes 4 to 5 years, but you can save this 1 to 1.5 years before doing the masters, because in the integrated PhD, it is usually up to 5 years, so you reduce 1 to 1.5 years. And other thing is, integrated PhDs are usually fully funded. In most of the cases, depends upon the performance. If you're not, they will initially fund you after qualification, selected after you get selected for the selected through the entrance, and if you don't get enough percentage or enough performance, then they stop your funding. So other thing is like integrated PhDs are also offered in India, such as you have IIC integrated PhD program, for which you have to qualify the JAM examination, and there are also other entrance examinations conducted by prestigious universities such as institutes such as NCBS, National Center for Biological Sciences. There are different areas. You don't think that this is just for biological sciences that you can be eligible. And there is these entrance examination, and also there are several entrance examinations conducted by many universities where you can go into integrated PhDs. For all these universities, the minimum requirement is 60%. And during this MSc, you already would be getting the stipendium of around 12,000 rupees in India, and in case of Germany, I saw few universities which offer up to 700 to 1,000 euros. This you have to check. And these integrated PhDs in Germany are offered by these universities: University of Cologne, University of Würzburg, and University of Berlin, and many more. Because as I told you, there are 200 universities, and you can trust all the 200 universities. They have good funding, and here you have only one university for city, not more. And only in bigger cities you have 2 or 3, and 2 to be private. Apart from that, everything is under one university hub. You have different institutes, but everything comes under one university. And then for the physics people as well, I have especially I have set some courses, and most of these universities over here that I have mentioned do not even have the tuition fees that I have mentioned, just 3,000 euros per year. So you see the kind of the courses, functional materials and advanced material analysis, applied natural sciences, and then analytical instruments and sensor technology and biophysics, metaphysics, and if you're interested in astrophysics, there are also some universities which are offering astrophysics in Germany. And also astrophysics from these universities. You see there are 3 universities which are offering, and there is this national and international students interested to join. There is a scholarship program, as I already mentioned. But for this, you have to apply by December 1st. This is the latest information that I have seen, but I don't know if this is also applicable for the next years. And the onus is on the students to check all such things and apply. Similarly, you also see in quantum engineering there are some courses. There are some courses which regarding to the innovation and sustainability, which will be demanding the next few years, and also pure program in physics in the university, also in organic and molecular electronics, such as like using the organic materials to produce electronics or such advanced areas, and also nanoscience and technology is also being offered. And all these courses, what at least I have said for you people, these are all in English and complete in is also in English. The website is very simple to go, the WAG or the UniSS, and just now you can see what the consultants are charging. I think I have heard that the consultants are charging for application of three for universities. They charge you around 25,000 to 50,000 depending upon the city or the state. Uh, if you are a BTech student, if you cannot go through this application form and then fill it properly, then I leave it to you what your studies have done with. And then, even in India, there is so many biotech companies. There are over 300 biotech pharmaceutical companies in India, and Biocom has been ranked 23rd among the world in the top 60. And then there are 800 universities in India, and there is a lot of need in the clinical research. So much wealth is there, but I think still I do understand that there is a lot of competition for all these things. And that is a reason I really think at this point of time, irrespective of education, thinking out of box is a need of the hour. And for this purpose, I just wanted to tell you, you have to really be expressive. At least I have given you so many areas, and just try to imagine I have prepared over 150 slides for these 2 days conference, and just see how much I have put in, not for myself, it's only for you people, so that you can understand the innovations, select your area of choice, and then try to be expressive in that, try to design, unless and until you are not interested in it at all. If you want to have just the normal job, and I think this is of course okay, but still, I think if you are interested in money, fame, all these things, I think this is the best thing to do, thinking out of the box. And even if not, just your attitude and then your dedication, you can really see there are so many opportunities which are existing. And also, the most important thing and the difference between our Indian and this one is theoretically we are really good. But here people learn so much only during the project works because they are technologically advanced. But remember, in all other areas, we are far superior. And that's the reason I want to tell is all the students have to make this project works compulsory. I know there is this new education policy came up, but how much it is effective, it is dependent not on the government, but it depends upon the faculty and the students. There are so many areas which are just beside. You don't need to work on quantum if you're not so interested at the beginning. But see the kind of innovations that I have already mentioned, and there are so many research areas, there are so many problems surrounding us. So we have to find so many solutions, and these are all can be converted into opportunities. Pollution, how it can be controlled, how can we clean us the science education, and how to take charge as during the times of pandemics and epidemics, water management, safe food. All these things, I think everybody knows, but how sensitive are you is a point, and I believe that at least what has COVID taught you, if you still don't think that we are responsible and we have to take charge of this, I think that it is it is a sorry situation at that point of time. And I believe that within the colleges there are physics, chemistry, and biology department. At least with these you see how interdisciplinary each and every branch is, and you just have a Google Google the application. What are you going to do with it? So the departments have been combined, and then the problems can be easily addressed. And at least one or two faculty members can really make a difference. I know that there are so good faculty because, believe me, the kind of the basics what no faculty people know at this point of time, because I'm not in the teaching field, I might not be remembering so much. You really are good at basics. So the only point is that now we have to apply it. And also remember, the students have to approach the faculty for such a things. And I think one such association can bring. And just imagine, even at the college levels, if you are, it might take a little time, but if you are working together and creating some kind of this, there will be a huge amount of the money for the institutes as well, which you have to remember, and the managements have to be convinced in a particular way. At least one college can take a lead in such a way and try to create such opportunities. And then, as I already mentioned, you're all science stars. You all have great knowledge over there. And we have so many problems, and it is a time that we put the solution together. And the young minds have to be equally supported. And the young people have to search for so many opportunities which are existing. And the faculties should be inspiring towards innovation. And I think all together we have to take science and India to the next level. As Vice Rao sir on the first day have already mentioned, the innovations just is not for money making. They also depending upon how revolutionary they are, it helps the country to go ahead in the rankings at the international platform, which will attract a lot of innovation. And to such things, I'm also presenting you, like, see the internships and the project opportunities what they have. I already mentioned what kind of opportunities ISRO is mentioning for the project opportunities. And there is this another Free Nobel Space Institute of Science, Young Scientist Space Bioscience Program. This is for the graduate or the master students. There is no funding, but people in the US, I think if you are interested to go to the US and study astrophysics, I think this is by one of the NASA kind of institute, and you can apply for this one. And there are so many CSIR labs which are offering the projects for the students, and you have to see the newspapers which for their advertisements. And these are the few scholarships and the fellowships which I have collected for you. And these are not just for the graduate students. Even now, you might have been missed a few of these. But try to but there are a lot of such things for the skilled students. For example, you see the scheme for the early attraction of talent in India by the departments of science and technology in India. There is also CSIR Innovation Award for the school children, and the KVPI after the 10th class, people are eligible to apply for this once they qualify the entrance examination of KVPI. There are so many Olympiads and national entrance tests and then innovation awards, JNCSR. This is for the bachelor's or the master's students who want to do the projects during the summer works in the CSIR based institutes. And there are so many other scholarships also which are actually present, and you search more and you will get even more. And even if you see for the fellowships, also for the Indian students, I don't know if you are already aware of this, but please go through this one. Education Future International Scholarship. This is for the Indian students to study abroad. This is for both UG study as well as a PG study, and the eligibility of the marks is just 60%. And the amount of the scholarship what they are providing is around 2 to 10 lakhs. And the last date for applying is October 15th. Yesterday I spent. And you see there is other scholarship called the ADP Japan Scholarship for Higher Education. And this is also for the Indian students who are studying abroad. And there is also another one called the Ericsson Innovation Award. There are different themes which are changing regularly. Please try to visit these websites. And there are so many, because I don't want to present everything, because you have to be responsible for searching for your own careers. And then you see the other few awards like Edison Award and then the Unlimited India. These are for the startup venturing. And also yesterday you would have seen 2 days before Dias Rao sir also said he also would like to support people with great ideas. So there are so many sources. The only thing is we are not searching properly. And there are so many yearly events which are being conducted by the IITs in order to showcase your innovative talents or your awards for your presentation skills or this. Just go apply for them, and your careers can be bright later. And in conclusion, this is a brief conclusion what I want to do at this point of time. But I try to present so many areas and opportunities. And as I told, I have taken 1 month of time to collect the best. Of course, if you see the topic, it's easy, but the way how I thought like this could be useful for the students, and I have figured out so many things and have selected the best what I thought. And all this effort is for the students and the faculties. And I wish my presentation is just not for the certificates. If your series are not good and if you are having hundreds of these certificates, it is literally of no use to me. But if your series are extremely good and if you are participating in the international and national conferences, this adds that you are versatile, but you are also parallelly going to the conferences. It is like that. And as I told you, the bonus has to be on you, either if you want to succeed or succumb. And then please try to think here. At least even if one of you people is benefited out of my 2 days of presentation, I will be more than happy. And then, as I told you, how responsible are we? I wanted to give you a small ideas about how can you develop your careers. And at least this time, after seeing the COVID 1 year being at work, what has been done? How can I contribute? If this has not come, as I told you, this is a bad situation which is existing. So I am really interested how why not the college, in the colleges, all these group together can find the solutions for them to go to the colleges and study all the different ways how they can improve their lectures or anything, or the research projects, anything. And then, what I think is it is really the first most important thing for getting a good job or a good qualification is like you have to do genuine project works during masters and bachelors. And extra trainings and diplomas would really add because now many of the companies, if you are seeing, they are taking, many of the people are losing their jobs, and the companies are thinking that if you are not versatile in changing of the technology or if you don't have interdisciplinary skills, then these are the first people who are taken out of the job unless maybe you are like pioneer in that. So, and also regular visit to the industries and the research institutes, just like a trip also can be done, and you will learn so much. My belief is that you have to be getting exposure to so many things so that I think one time there will be a spark which will make you to think of it and then excel in your careers. And try to attend as many practical workshops and trainings as possible. And of course, with that free, and if you cannot manage, the colleges together has to conduct each other for free so that the consultant companies do effort for free to promote their product. Such things have to be encouraged so that we know about the current science. And at least try to attend some competitions during your 4 years of bachelor's plus 2 years of master's, and if you're not interested in master's, in these 4 years. And it is important that you know these latest trends of sciences. So at least in 1 month, monthly once, you can discuss in a classroom what is the latest trend one person can present, so that you at the end of your 3 years of career, you at least have the experience of giving good presentations and knowing a lot of technologies, and also maybe you can work the advances of that. For example, as I told you, the water bottles in India, you can make it for maybe 1,000 rupees instead of 10,000 rupees, all such things. And you don't need to patent or do other things, but if you're using for yourself, that is more than good. And then it's just 1 hour per week. As I told you, one advanced journal study for 1 month once, and 1 hour per week if a classroom is able to spend. Try to gather opportunities from different websites over a period of month, and then divide 10 per member. And this will give you a great knowledge about what kind of institutes are there, what kind of scholarships are there, what kind of opportunities exist, what are the advances that you know, so many things at an international as well as a national level. And always try to be versatile and do not forget to do extra courses, diplomas, whatever is possible. There are a lot of free courses which are currently available with regarding to the app technology, with regarding to the Stanford courses as well as MIT courses. There are so many things which you can do it. And share the knowledge, and so that sometimes you might be getting the help from your friends. I know in the colleges it's a kind of environment that you don't share certain kind of abilities, but it should be encouraged. And please be sensitive to surroundings, and ideas will evolve. I think if you ask many people, this will be one thing. Ideas will evolve only if you are sensitive to the surrounding problems. I will tell you, ignite, inspire, and innovate. And remember, even an atomic bomb needs an ignition too. You might later causes all different, but it needs an ignition. And I think with my presentation, I always try to provide this. And if one student is able to gather that, I'm more than happy for that one. And now I also wanted to present about Chaperone's organization. I asked the permission of Mr. Madam, and thanks for accepting for this. I have started this organization 10 years before with the aim of increasing the opportunities for the students, and exactly what the chaperones do. So chaperones mean, what I meant is it is the era of the chaps, which is the young people. And our aim is to ignite the ambitions in science, especially. I know the situation in science in India, it is great, of course, but at the normal college level, it has to be very much high compared to the current situations. Everybody talks about the MAC accreditations, but we know the reality of what a MAC accreditation is and how it has to be done. So our aims is we wanted to support a lot of science projects for the schools, colleges, and even undergraduate or the postgraduate colleges as well. And we want to conduct a lot of inspiring science events and also provide a proper guidance for the students, as I provide a lot of guidance for the adult education over the years. And what we did is we have conducted so many national conferences at CIT, even at JNU and Hyderabad campus in these respective years. And to my conferences, I was very happy, and I'm very happy that there are more than 400 participants, and depending upon the capacity, here at JNU, the maximum capacity was 300, but we almost got the application presentations of 600 students. And I try to make my events as well very creative, not the general routine similar presentations which might be boring for the students. And I don't know how many people attended the conferences till date. If somebody is listening, if they listen, they know how my events are. And then we are trying to, as of now, my team is not completely strong, and I'm trying to build it up so much. And I'm really looking forward for people who are good at organizing, who can think about the science projects and any other creative ideas for the events, and if there are good writers or speakers, because I cannot do alone everything which I have done till date with the support of my team, which is invaluable. They have been supporting me so much for all these 12 years. And then we are looking forward, is like, if you are inspiring towards our foundation, and if you want to lead your passions, and if you want to be a science star, I think, and you wanted to take the science of India to a higher level, I think with your passions and with our dedication, we can take the science in India to the next level, and we can make an incredible reach. If you're interested, you can always mail to this mail address, the chaperons at Gmail. And whenever I come to India, I do volunteering to many colleges and present the students on such kind of opportunities and different topics, whatever the colleges are interested in. And we also want to conduct many events in the future. So if the colleges are interested, you can just try to write to me, and then we will do that one. And with this, I would like to thank all the, especially all the superheroes who are doing a great job at this point of time. And we have to be so much responsible to make their work less and to improve the situation in the country. And with this, I also would like to acknowledge Dr. Jessica Waters, ma'am, the principal of Stella College, also as an emeritor fellow ma'am from the head of the department from my Stella College for providing me the opportunity, and Nasira ma'am, who have recommended me to looking for a ma'am after my first presentation. I would really thank all my chaplains team members who have been supporting me so much, and I would really like to commit in the great stuff in the coming years. And I would really thank all my teachers from my LKG to this point of time who are definitely a reason for my career to this point, and my friends and family also for all their support, and for my pharmaceutical team at Frankfurt as well who have helped, who have not told me anything to come over here as always. And thank you for your attention. I don't know whether I have touched your brain or made you so crazy, but I think it is useful, and I would be very happy to take any questions of yesterday's or today's. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Dr. Rajkumar. I hope Padmata, could you please raise some of the questions what they have posted in the chat box of you to speak?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Sure. So some of participants they have posed some questions. This is by Mr. Prasad. Sir, can you please suggest some ways to get the knowledge related to biology? And I think he's a physics student, so he's asking this question, sir. Can you please suggest some ways to get the knowledge related to biology?
Okay, so the first thing is like, just try to select what area you are interested in. As I told you, if you are interested in the sense of technology, and if you take the onion research, first you have to tell, okay, what is the problem? For example, you also identify some problem of sewage smell or the leak of the sewage. And if you want to identify kind of certain bacteria or what is the contamination in the water, all such things. So we have to guess first is the idea of what biological accept you are trying to tackle, and then what physics knowledge, with what physics knowledge you want to use sensor technology, you want to use the UV, or what, or the semiconductors, which kind of things is applicable, and then try to find if there is already such kind of equipment available in the web. If not, then if it is really unique or creative, then try to contact people like us, where we might not be able to suggest everything, but we can try to see if we have somebody who has such kind of a knowledge. For example, our biology faculty who might be working on that. We can try to help you in that way. Or other thing is try to approach some innovators, like I told you, like Y.S. Rao sir, who is trying to help people and guide. Or else try to present your idea, work on it, try to present a proposal. You have to go through the little biology with regard to your area of interest, and automatically I'm pretty sure you will gain enough knowledge on biology. And I think I have also mentioned you, like yesterday, in the, like if you consider the microscope, so many microscopic faculty managers who are working across the world, they don't know a piece of biology. Whatever is to acquire the image, and then the computer side people does all the computer related work, and he gives us to the biologist, and then we try to analyze what really that is. And during the course of time, they also get experience, and they also try to learn or understand. This is how things work. Because I'm also not a person who's from a background of neuroscience, but there is an experience which will train you to the demands.
Thank you, sir. Yes, ma'am, a few more questions I have. Can I have?
Oh, yeah, please.
So this is question by Ms. Bharati Pandey. Could we treat oral cancer with a brain chip?
Oral cancer with a brain chip? I don't think so, as of now. At least as of now, the technology doesn't exist to treat oral cancer with a brain chip. Okay. Okay. And the brain chip is not for treating the cancers. The brain chip is not for treating the cancers. It is for actually stimulating, in case of the paralysis or the epilepsy kind of patients, to stimulate certain areas of the brain so that you have the work of the brain going so that you are not paralyzed. It is for that purpose.
Right, sir. Then one more question. Can you please explain about magnetic therapies used in health issues?
Magnetic therapy?
Yeah.
Okay, magnetic therapy, I think I see that I have read somewhere that there are kind of magnetic soothers for the pain relieving, especially in conditions like rheumatoid arthritis and several joint inflammation, such things, where the magnetic instruments were able to reduce the pain of these patients. And also, apart from this, there are, in relation to the sound, I think using the magnetic waves like the sound waves also, they are mainly able to reduce the pain in such conditions. This is what I have remembered. There might be so many. As I told you, I could not explore everything, but this is definitely, I know that using the magnetics they are using to relieve the pain.
Thanks, sir. Then another question. Can we use nanoparticle technology in self-cleaning water bottles?
Nanoparticles in self-cleaning water bottles.
Yeah.
In what way would be the question? And it could be an idea, definitely in what way is what you have to do. Because nanoparticles can also accumulate in the humans, as I told you, right? But if these are incredible nanoparticles, so the questions what you have to ask yourself is, how many nanoparticles are you going to pack them, or is it going to be like a nano coating? And then is the coating, how long is it protected, and how are you able to sanitize the water bottle? See, for me, and frankly speaking, all this technology of 10,000 is coming, but as a biologist, I still recommend that using a copper vessel is far better, frankly speaking. These are all technologies, and the people are making money, and people can spend, they have this spending growth, That is the reason they are doing it, but copper vessel is poor than them.
Okay, sir. Thank you. As of now, I think these are the questions asked. Ma'am, can you carry on?
And thank you, Dr. Rajput, sir. My personal question is, what motivated you to go to Germany to take up this higher education?
What motivated me? Frankly speaking, initially I was trying to go to UK, but I had a visa problem, and then I shifted to my focus on Germany because I know that there is a free education, and one of my friends is also staying doing his PhD, and I think I'm this time to be here, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to return to India. Please take note of it. And I was very happy about my place in Germany over here. I think maybe I don't know. So I think this is just like a normal search. I'm never interested in going to US for studies for sure. This is for sure. And UK visa was unsuccessful, so later I just came to Germany as a first option.
Thank you. During our conversation, you mentioned that in your initial days you had a lot of study. Could you share that experience? What kind of study? Is it language or food or
there were so many Indians in the place where I have gone to research. There are so many Indians, and especially there are so many Telugu people itself. So I have never faced any problem in Germany for sure. It is about getting the what do you call it, PhD at one point was a little difficult, but these are all a part of life. I'm very happy for all these struggles because this will make you even a better person. So no complaints, and I never feel anything is a problem.
As in my case, I can say I belong to physics department, but in your case, you are telling that you belong to four departments. Like neuroscience and what way, how,
Because the thing is, first in India, I have finished my master's in biotechnology, and after coming to Germany, because I have to come here, and at that point of time, there is this recession, and it was very difficult to come abroad like the situation now. Of course, at that point of time, it was a financial recession, and it was difficult. So what happened was, I just wanted to land into certain kind of a course, and the fastest admission what I got was into this agricultural biotechnology. So I went into agricultural biotechnology, and I have done it because I'm a person who is interested to do interdisciplinary sciences, and I will be ready to even do MBA in the future for sure. And that's the reason if you see my career, I have also done a diploma in scientific and technical writing. I have also done a diploma in nanoscience and technology. I said it's okay, I'm able to do it. And then what happened during my course, I have got PhD into two or three different areas because one of my favorite areas is of course neuroscience, and I always thought I would be working on cardiology. So I got opportunities, but at the end of the day, I landed into neurology. As I told you, the techniques are same in the biology or anywhere. For example, you are using the same semiconductor chips even in the water bottle and even in the NASA space missions also. It is simple as like this. It has to be your attitude, what you have to study when you come into certain areas, and then you learn about it during the course of the time. And if you're unable to adjust, you have to change the field. But if you take it as a challenging, and if you can go through it, I think you can definitely succeed in any field. And as a total physics people can also come into biology just with the microscope technique, and they will learn biology for sure after working on it for 2 years.
good, thanks a lot. I know you're working on patent right also of some of your work. Could you share some
As of now, no, I have some ideas, but because I'm here completely focusing on other stuff, I'm not implementing any of them, but I wanted to do it in India over there. But this is really, I don't know about them, and if it is really possible, I'm not also, so I don't want to talk anything about them at this point of time.
Yeah. So what is your next goal in Dr. Rajkumar? After completing your PhD, what is your goal?
I think I believe that I am in the peak of my research career at this point of time because I had a great opportunity to work here on different fields of neurology and fascinating fields. And this year, I almost have published 5 articles in 1 year. And next year, I have some interesting projects to finish. And after that, I really wanted to come back to India, but I don't know, depending upon the opportunities. Um, I would take a decision after next year.
Very kind of you. You shared your experience. I asked all these questions, but these sort of questions will be there in the youngsters' mind, but they may be feeling a little intimidated to ask. So I'm really have finalized. I hope many of the youngsters will be motivated. How you were courageous after your studies in India, you took courage to go abroad, and how you are developing your knowledge level. Everything would be an inspiring story for everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and anybody can make me, and I will try to respond I will definitely respond to all your queries as quickly as possible.
Very, very kind. I think if they have any doubts, always they can contact you and clarify their doubts. And one main thing today, what happened is during your talk time, some disturbance occurred. So your YouTube stream, some voice was not heard properly. Constantly, participants expressed. We were all trying our level best to find out the reason, but what we understood is today we had a heavy rains here in Vijayawada, and near to our college, nearby apartments, nearby houses, that Stella portion got filled water, hands we would have arrested immediately, but it was external source. Literally, some of our members went out and made a request to those house owners to put off the the motors for some time like that. So I apologize. I apologize for that disturbance. Many participants were very eager to know why we allowed your voice couldn't be heard properly. But what I assure is, I say sorry. But at the same time, our Google Meet recording is excellent. No such incident. I will post that recording in the group. In those that you missed something, you can hear it once again and know what was said to you all.
Okay, ma'am. Sure, I'm sorry for my part if it was not heard, my voice was not heard and it was an instrument.
No. It's not from your side, it's from our excellence. Other than the college source, the disturbance came from the neighboring houses.
Okay.
So I think we can go to vote of thanks and then we conclude. Okay? Okay. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, ma'am.
So I would like to thank you all during this vote of thanks session. It's became my privilege to propose vote of thanks. First and foremost, I would like to thank our cosmic father. As Dr. Rajkumar expressed, the weather in Germany is also equally bad. Temperatures around 8 degrees Celsius, something. Dr. Rajkumar too. Even here, weather is very, very unpredictable. Just on 13th, it was worse. Actually, we planned this webinar on 13th, 14th, 15th. But due to some reasons, Dr. Y.S. Rao sir was not free. We shifted to 14th, 15th, 16th. That day, our first day program was saved. Otherwise, on 13th, the entire city didn't have current. Even the inverters power went zero. If we had posted that day, webinar, it would have been a flop. But luckily, God saved us. So I would like to thank God for all His graces to conduct this webinar in a successful manner. God has safeguarded all of us, and especially the resource persons. Just before the session, if they call and say that some disturbance they couldn't contact or log in, all that if they say it would have been such a great disturbance, but no such thing occurred in our case. So I place my gratitude and thanks to the God for guiding us in this 3 days webinar. And our special thanks are to our sister principals, Dr. Sister Jessica Quadras and Maristella Management for all the positive support and encouragement they gave to all the faculty members to host such webinar. Because of that, we could connect and we could discuss other than our regular syllabus. Really, as a physics lecturer, I learned a lot about biology. Oh my God, such a lovely areas to explore. That way. So I think everyone also must have felt the same feeling. Other than physics, we could know about many facts and about our own body organs and how the diagnostic methods and the treatment techniques, everything, and how still better approaches to be adopted and worked for all that we could understand. I also take this opportunity to express our special gratitude and thank profusely both resource persons, Dr. Y.S. Rao sir and Dr. Rajkumar, for your greatness to accept our invitation. And you spend your valuable time and share your expertise with us. Notably, you related the impacts of physics in healthcare and bioinstrumentation. Both of your talks covered highlights of significant areas of many disciplines and how these devices and bioinstrumentation are useful for diagnostic and treatment purposes. Our very special thanks to Dr. Rajkumar, the youngster, the young postdoctoral student, for readily accepting our request. And very especially, I thank you sincerely for this third day event. Actually, Dr. Rajkumar accepted our invitation to deliver a talk in bioinformatics related area only. But when I made a request, please throw some light talk so well. And very especially for the past 1 month he worked on both days talk. We must have heard his talk for 1.5 hours and another 1.5 hours, but I know how much he studied. Not studied, it is fully involved all the reliable and relevant and significant information from various resources. And he did his homework very well, and really, your both days talk extremely well, Rajkumar sir. It's our sincere gratitude goes to all the participants for your support and for your enthusiasm to take part in this webinar. We admire your enthusiasm for learning. We got good response from other countries and different states of India. So we take this opportunity to thank all of you for the trust you have. You registered yourself, of course, around 626 participants registered, but around 170 to 180 participants took part in the YouTube stream. Yes, still this number is good, and many participants are from other countries and many from other states of India, and everything was very, your participation was so great, and I thank each one of you for the trust you have on us and you joined us. We thank you very sincerely. Next, my special thanks to Mr. Prasad, our IT core team member, for being with us on all these 3 days and regulating both Google Meet as well as YouTube in live telecast. And other than these 3 days, before that we started working and we had 1 or 2 trials about how to run the program, everything. Special thanks to Mr. Prasad. Also, I take this opportunity to thank Mr. Raju, who is another member of our IT group team, focus guidance for this purpose in this webinar. They both are our strong supporters in executing all planned activities of the campus in a meticulous way. Finally, I would like to thank all our team members, our department members for their moral support. In every way possible and supported, and we could really, I'm unable to believe that when we conducted webinar online mode, it's really surprising. I really feel very happy for the support is extended. So finally, I thank all of you for your support, for your participation in this webinar. I hope the deliberation of this webinar somewhere or other way would have given you a lot of insights. Please work on it and extend your experience and your knowledge to others. And especially students, you think about your future careers in the nicest way, because you is our wealth and our pillars of the nation. So knowledge-wise, become very strong and become great contributors to this society. So many were worried about this feedback link also. We provided one link in the YouTube stream in the chat box. Many good things, you were all worried. Today we keep the feedback link in the YouTube stream as well as in the WhatsApp groups. All of you will please respond. As Dr. Rajkumar said, certificate is not the matter, but then learning more things is very much important. And so continue to have your inspiration and enthusiasm to learn many more things. Hope we will meet in some other webinar someday. Until then, we keep praying that all of you should be safe, happy, and always, whatever you wish in life, God should bless you. Thank you all. Thank you all for your
One from my side, ma'am. Please, for anybody who have joined really yesterday, so I also would like to request, please try to provide your feedback very genuinely, so that it will help me also to improve. I know that I have told many of the concepts very basic level. This has been done for me to keep up both the biology and the physics students. Apart from this, you can provide all your feedbacks very genuinely, so that I'll always try to improve my next presentations or the next events. Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot. We would definitely keep the video recordings in the groups also. So continue to support us. We too would support whenever you host other colleges host such webinar. We too will become participants of your events, and let us support each other
not stopped yet, ma'am.
Yes. Thanks a lot, Rajkumar sir. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah.
Support was great for us, and we feel very, very happy. On the day one, we were so nervous because of the weather conditions and so many other things. And the previous day, when we had a trial round, our inverter gone completely no power, and the meeting completely came to handy. If such a thing happens, what would happen? Even if 10 participants are there, we are responsible. No, we assure them that so that but no disturbance. Today, little disturbance only, but that's that later half, everything was good. But during the beginning, first 10-15 minutes, people were panicked that some noise, external noise is coming. We were also worried, but it's all inevitable. Maybe it's a learning process. Maybe that room from where we do this broadcasting, some soundproof system to be arranged to avoid such a good developments.
I think because sometimes you cannot be really control of everything. It happens sometimes.
But I think today, how many participants were in YouTube stream?
Around 160, around 160 now.
For the past 3 days, 162, 176, 180 like that came, sir. Two reasons. Rajkumar, when we initiated this type of webinar started in the month of May, that time everybody was so enthusiastic, registering for all the programs, all participated. Many, almost each faculty, many students, 20 certificates at least they are all having. But by then that enthusiasm or something gone a little bit down, not because they have lost their enthusiasm, it is because they stopped it. Sir, you didn't stop.
Yeah, okay, ma'am. Okay.